November 13th, 2022, between 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., a 911 call is placed, asking for aid for an unconscious person. Later, authorities send an officer and EMT to a 3-story house on King Road, Moscow, Idaho. As the officers are outside the house, they see the door already open, with no sign of forced entry or any sort of damage inside the house. They find other students and friends of the caller inside the house, believed to have been called by the other housemates to help the unconscious friend. Unfortunately, what the officers would come across would be something much worse than just an unconscious person. They soon came across the bodies of 4 Idaho University students: Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Chapin were the 4 students who were the victims of a brutal attack believed to have taken place on the 13th of November 2022. Kaylee, Madison, and Xana were housemates. Chapin was Xana's boyfriend, who was sleeping over the night of the attack. According to the police, the call was made from the cell phone of one of the 2 surviving housemates at around 11:58 a.m., with the dispatcher speaking to multiple people, which explains the other students and friends present in the house at the time. Police initially said the surviving housemates, Dylan or Tinson and Bethany Funke, were believed to be sleeping during the stabbings. But it was just recently revealed in court documents that Dylan may have actually encountered the suspect as he fled the house. But before we get in all of that, let's just quickly understand who the victims were. Madison, or Maddie Mogen, was 21 years old, from Coeur d'Alene, born in May of 2001 in Eugene, Oregon. She was described as a hard worker and someone with a great sense of humor. She was soon to be graduating with a degree in marketing. Maddie and Kaylee were actually best friends since the 6th grade. Their parents described them as basically inseparable, which is evident as they later on joined the same university together and even were living in the same house. Kaylee Goncalves was also 21 years old at the time. Originally from Red Drum, Idaho, Kaylee was described to be athletic, social, and someone who loved adventure. She was studying to become a school teacher. Chapin was 20 years old at the time, from Conway, Washington. He was actually a triplet and was very close to his siblings. All 3 of them were together in the University of Idaho. It is said that Ethan was majoring in recreation sports and tourism management, and at the time was dating Xana Kernodle. Xana was also 20 years old at the time. She was from Post Falls, Idaho, and was also majoring in marketing.
God, it smells like dirty dick in here. Murphy, you've been a bad boy.
Did anybody do their chores today? Fuck, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, where are you going? Yeah, I gotta go to the pool. Yeah, I fucking failed 2 of them already.
The bond they all shared was truly amazing, as seen in some of the videos and pictures. And what is important to know is that the house that they were living in was on a hill, as seen in the images. It had 3 floors and 2 entrances. The front entrance led to the ground floor of the first floor, and the back entrance, through a sliding door, led into the second floor. Dylan and Bethany, the other 2 housemates, as mentioned earlier, their bedroom was on the first floor. Xana's room was on the second floor, and Madison and Kaylee's room was on the 3rd floor. On the afternoon of November the 12th, 2022, this picture was clicked and then later uploaded to Kaylee's Instagram account with the caption reading, "One lucky girl to be surrounded by these people every day." Unfortunately, this was the last time the 4 of them were seen together. Later in the evening, they all were hanging out separately. Ethan and Xana were at a college party together at around 8 p.m, whilst Kaylee and Madison were hanging out together. At around 10 p.m, they both were at a local sports bar, not so far away from their home. Later, at around 1:41 a.m, they both were captured on a Twitch live stream at a food truck, ordering some food and chatting with some people nearby. In the video, a strange hooded guy is seen roaming behind Kaylee and Maddie. The internet was soon to notice that, and unfortunately for the guy, he had become a subject of intense online speculations, though later he was cleared by the authorities. At around 1:51 a.m, Kaylee and Maddie were also home. It is also reported that between 2:30 and 2:45 a.m, Kaylee had been trying to call her ex-boyfriend. She tried calling him a total of 7 times, but to no avail. Now between 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. is when all the 4 of them were stabbed to death by an unknown man. The attack took place on the 2nd floor and 3rd floor of the house. It is also believed that the killer may have entered from the back entrance of the house. It was also later confirmed that the attacker first entered the room of Maddie and Kaylee on the 3rd floor and proceeded to attack them, then made his way to the 2nd floor where Xana and Ethan were sleeping. According to the reports, Xana may have been the last of the 4 to be killed, as she was the only one who tried to fight back the attacker, because of which she suffered noticeable defensive wounds. Now, as mentioned earlier, according to the case documents, Dylan may have encountered the attacker as he fled the house that night. She later told investigators that she came face to face with a man that night and instantly went into a frozen shock phase, a response medical experts said is not uncommon in potential situations. She later described the man to be 5'10", not very muscular, but athletically built. Also, the attacker was supposedly wearing a black mask to cover his face. On the 19th of November 2022, the police requested the public to provide videos on the night of the killings. After receiving multiple tips, the police would confirm that they were searching for a white Hyundai Elantra. A camera in the area of the killings had captured an image of an Elantra around the time when the killings happened. Surveillance video also showed an Elantra passing by the victim's home 3 times. Beginning around 3:29 a.m. At 4:04 a.m., the Elantra returned to the home for a 4th time. At 4:20 a.m., the vehicle was seen leaving the victim's neighborhood in speed. On Friday, December 30th, 2022, nearly 7 weeks after the horrific incident, the police had finally arrested the man who they were looking for, 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger. But who was Bryan Kohberger, and what was his connection to the 4 victims? Born in 1994, he is the youngest and the only son to parents Michael and Marianne Kohberger. He also has 2 elder sisters. His high school friends described him as an average student and someone who was often bullied for his overweight status. Though once, in his senior year, he decided to undergo a body transformation, where he succeeded in losing almost 100 pounds. It was also then that students would notice a change in his attitude. He would become more aggressive towards other students and even his friends. Once he finished his high school, he then attended Northampton Community College. He later graduated with an associate degree in psychology in 2018. In 2020, he graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Psychology from DeSales University in Pennsylvania. He would later complete his Master's in Criminal Justice in December 2022. He completed his first semester as a doctoral student in Washington State University's Criminal Justice program just 9 days before his arrest. At the time of the incident, he was living in an on-campus apartment just a few miles away from Moscow. Police would also find medical gloves, a black sweatshirt, socks, sneakers, a laptop, and a black mask at his parents' home in Pennsylvania the day of his arrest. Now, even though an arrest has been made, the question still remains unanswered. What was the actual motive behind all this? There have been countless theories and speculations out there, but they remain just that, speculations. Though one theory does make sense, which also is part of an affidavit, that he stalked their home in the lead up to the attacks, and after years of studying criminal justice, might have wanted to feel how a criminal feels after committing a crime. In all honesty, it also seems something out of a slasher movie. As of now, Bryan Kohberger is in custody, awaiting his trial, and has denied all allegations against him. I guess we will just have to wait and see as the trial begins. Well folks, that was the end of the case file. I hope you did find the video interesting. If you've made it this far, I would genuinely appreciate it if you would give this video a like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, as it would really help me. Until next time, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and please be safe. Peace.